Hi, this is Doug Daugherty with Hamilton Flourishing, and we're so glad you've joined us again um, for another exciting interview for people who are running for the Hamilton County School Board. They're 21 or 22. I'm not quite sure exactly what. Either the paper had it wrong or I've got it right. But there are 20 something people running for the school board. Uh, and today we're interviewing Dolores Vinson, who is running for District 6 in the school board. And before we get started, I just want to say that I just think these elections are some of the most important, if not the most important in the county, for lots of reasons. There's 45,000 students involved in the Hamilton County school system. It's paid for with taxpayer monies, either from the state or the county or the federal government. Uh, uh, it's got 6,000 employees. It's got a budget, if you include the bonds, of $500 million. So it's a big operation. And not only are they responsible for that, but they're in great part responsible for the dreams of all these children within the school and what they might be or could be or can be. So it's a big deal, and we need to watch this carefully, and we need to talk and get as acquainted as we can with the people who are running for school board. The system has a lot of challenges, and including the literacy rate, graduation rates, all kinds of challenges they've got, and not to mention the problems with the urban poor. So it's a big deal, but we're talking to Dolores Vinson, and Dolores, it's great to see you. You're looking terrific.
Oh, thank you, Doug.
Dolores, are you a native Chattanoogan?
I am. I was born here in 1953, and I was here for a number of years before I moved to Alabama for about 20 years. And then I came back to Chattanooga, my hometown.
Well, you've got a little bit of the Alabama accent.
That's what I hear.
Now you're in District 6. Tell everybody who doesn't know what parts of the county District 6 is.
District 6 comprises Red Bank, Stewart Heights, Lupton City, Riverview, North Chattanooga, and North Shore.
Right. And how many, I don't think there are any Democrats running in your seat, are there? Aren't there just a bunch of Republicans?
Well, we have the primary election, of course, on May
Right.
3rd, and we have three Republicans, and we do have one Democrat who's
Okay.
running in the
Okay.
general election.
General election. Right. So the way this works is May 3rd will be the final voting for the primary, which is now underway. And then whoever wins that will face off in the general election against a Democrat and an independent. But I don't think any have qualified for this. Um, so what schools are in your district?
Red Bank High School and Red Bank Middle School. Ironically, Red Bank Elementary School is not in my district. It's in Chattanooga, not even in Red Bank. The Dom School, the Chattanooga School for Performing Arts, Rivermont, and Alpine Crest.
Is Normal Park in your?
And Normal Park, yes,
Yeah, I would have thought.
upper and lower.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, Dolores, it is great to see you again, and looking forward to talking to you. But tell our folks, why are you qualified to serve on the Hamilton County School Board?
Well, I'm a mother, I'm a conservative, and I'm a retired educator. I've spent my career teaching in both public and private schools. I have been a substitute teacher since my retirement 5 years ago, and I've taught in virtually every school in my district.
Hmm.
And many outside of my district as well. I've had my fingers on the pulse of education for 25 years, and the prognosis looks increasingly bad.
Hmm. Well, great. Before we talk about your priorities, talk to us a little bit about the larger big picture of the whole Hamilton County school system, because as a board, you're responsible, yes, to your constituents who elected you, but you're also, like the U.S. House of Congress, you're responsible for the whole county for all the things. So, as you look at it, what are the challenges facing Hamilton County schools?
The two biggest challenges are gross academic underachievement and discipline. And to have better achievement in school, to have students more focused on education, we have to have discipline. Discipline is just a disaster, according to many teachers and some of my principal friends.
Yeah. Well, you're the first person who's brought that up. That's a good one. Um, Anything else about the whole system that you're see as an issue or challenge?
There is. It's interesting and it's ironic that we only have 35% of the students test as ready to graduate, and yet we graduate 80% of the students. That's an anomaly
Yeah, I'm
and
looking at
needs
it
to be
after
changed.
2 years and can't get any answers from anybody how that works. So we the graduating
Right,
students who aren't
right.
ready or
And chronic absence.
no, go ahead. Chronic absences or what?
I can't hear you. Chronic absences are another problem. A student is considered to be chronically absent if he or she misses more than 10 days of the
Okay.
year. Our rate of chronic absentee that.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question. What are the challenges? What will be your priorities? Those are the big picture things. Now you've got several schools in your district, and what do you see as the priorities for those schools in your district?
Well, those schools' priorities for them are the same as it is for the whole Hamilton County system, the academic underachievement and the discipline problems. Um, we have a number of teachers that are quitting the profession. It's not only newcomers, but mid-career teachers and those nearing retirement as well. In fact, some polls suggest that over half of the teachers in the profession now are planning on leaving. We need to stem that exodus of teachers leaving. And the teachers tell me, discouraged teachers, tell me that the number one reason they leave is because of lack of administrative support, especially in the area of discipline.
A very good point. Um,
We have only 31% of our students, and I know you know this, only 31% of the students are on track or have mastered grade level material. We have 5 elementary schools that have 10% or fewer of the students can read. And that just not shouldn't be. We're in academic distress and we need to face that and get back to
and
basics.
that's been going on at those same schools for year after year after year after year after year, and
You're right.
waving the flag for over 2 years about that because I just think it's tragic. So I'm glad you brought that up. A couple more questions, Doris. The board, the school board, has three primary responsibilities. One is to hire and or fire the superintendent. Two is to uh, understand and pass a budget. And number three is to set policy. Now, policy issues kind of come and go. Recently, they've been talking about library books and, and a lot of things like that. So these things kind of come and go. But and we've got a fairly new superintendent, and we just got one of them just resigned, and so we've got a new guy. Uh, have you studied? But your third tool is the budget, and the budget is a big deal because that's really the only place where you can see how resources are allocated to what. I know it's a big document. It's 400 or 500 pages long. It's probably a huge Excel spreadsheet or some other such thing. And I've seen the budget more than once. And but as the person responsible, have you looked at the budget, both operational and capital?
I've looked at the budget, I've studied it, I've spent a lot of time on it. And there are a lot of what I consider to be redundant programs, reading programs and other programs that seem to duplicate one another.
Hmm.
There are also some jobs that neither I nor one of the sharpest school board members know what they are, such as behavioral response technicians and learning to learn teachers. And we need to understand what we're funding exactly and what their jobs are.
I agree. I agree. If you all don't know, then nobody knows.
Right.
One of the problems in my view of the school system is that there's a lack of transparency, um, just all over the place, and so it's difficult to get information. The simple thing you just brought up about the disparity between the ready to work number and the graduation rate is one of those. It's just like a mystery. It's kind of like looking for the Ark of the Lost Covenant, and uh, but
Right.
would you support a tax increase, Dolores, for Hamilton County School?
No, no, not at this time. I don't think the money that we have is being spent as efficiently as it could be. And I just, with inflation, people just can't bear much more.
Good answer. All right, Dolores. Again, tell people now, Dolores. That's the substance of our interview. But if people want to get involved with you, they like your answers, they want to ask you more questions. Is there any way? Do you have a website or a phone number or anything or an email or something that people can contact you?
I do. My website is votevinsonschoolboard.com. That's votevinsonschoolboard.com. My Facebook is Vote Vinson School Board District 6. I'll repeat that, Vote Vinson School Board District 6. My phone number is 423-364-0104. And I would welcome any comments, any questions that anybody may have about my position
Great.
on some of these
Dolores, this has
issues.
been a delight to talk to you. We wish you well. And it's been a great talking to you. And this is Doug Daugherty for Hamilton Flourishing. We've interviewed Dolores Vinson, who is Dolores Gross Vinson, who is running for School Board District 6. You need to listen to this interview again and say, is this the kind of person you want in office representing your interest, your grandchildren's interest, your children's interest, and the interest of future employers in Hamilton County? So Dolores, thank you very much for being with us and have a great afternoon. All right.
Thank you, Doug. You too.